Melissa, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. All right. All right, here we go. I, Chair Travis Argue, called the live virtual State Plumbing Board meeting of October 15th, 2020 to order at 9:30. Roll call. Melissa, will you please do the roll call?
Chair Travis Argue,
Here.
Vice Chair Matthew Roselle, Craig Anderson,
Here.
Corey Frazier, Melissa Gitt,
Here.
Molly Keller,
Here.
Joe Liebold,
Here.
Vice Chair Matthew Roselle.
Here. Sorry, I'm
Chair
late.
Argue, we have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any members who would like to have any changes to the agenda? All right. Somebody needs to mute there. So, hearing no, I Chair Argue, rule the agenda of order of business approved. Approval of the draft minutes from August 20th. Is there any members who would like to have any change? Hearing none, I Chair Argue, rule the draft minutes of August 20th, 2020 final. Next meeting will be December 17th, 2020. All right. Andy Bolton, is there any public comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Andy Bolton, Policy Analyst of the Division. There has been no public comment received for this meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Our next is program update. I will be with Mr. Andy Skinner.
Thank you, Chair Argue, members of the board. For the record, my name is Andy Skinner. I'm the Plumbing Program Chief for the State of Oregon Building Codes Division. First, I want to, hopefully everybody's staying safe and healthy out there. We're still in these unique times that we're having, and I do miss seeing everybody live, so I just kind of wanted to make that statement. But I got a couple things for us today. I got a couple intros to do. First, I would like everybody to welcome Alana Cox. She is our new interim administrator. Alana's been with the division for quite a while. She was the PTS manager and still will be involved with PTS and among all of what Building Codes does now as the new administrator. So, I don't know, Alana, do you want to say anything?
Hi, thanks, Andy. Just looking forward to working with this board in my new capacity, and thank you all for being so flexible, as Andy said, during these kind of challenging times and participating in the meetings, even with everything going on. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to working with the plumbing board.
Thank you, Alana. Second, also, please welcome me in joining Julia Heyer to the division. Julia is our new Senior Policy Advisor. She has extensive experience in administrative law and policy work. Julia spent about 8 years of her career practicing administrative law before moving into civil litigation. She then took a policy position at the Workers' Compensation Division, which is also part of the Department of Consumer and Business Services, so which is what Building Codes is as well. We're underneath that umbrella of the Department of Consumer and Business Services. She also she also worked as a policy analyst for the Workers' Compensation Division for about 3.5 years prior to coming to Building Codes. Again, please welcome her to the division. And Julia, do you have anything that you would like to add, or have I captured everything?
No, I think you captured everything, but thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to work with all of you and look forward to everything going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. All right, the only other thing I have for the board today is just kind of an update. Both the interim amendments and also the WHI scoping now has went live. It's what I call is on the street now as of October 1st of 2020. So the interim code amendments that we've been talking about for quite a while, those are now active and live as far as October 1st, along with the WHI extended scoping. Since the amendments went out, there was about 5 amendments that came out, and for the most part, the industry has been very excited to see these interim amendments come out. It's allowed for a lot more flexibility. There's some cost savings there, but there has been one question that's come up with these amendments, these interim amendments, that is probably going to warrant an interpretation. So just for the record today, I'd like to just kind of talk about that a little bit to give everybody a heads up, and then we'll have that formal document come out pretty soon. And what it's focusing on specifically is the 8 public laboratories on the 1.5-inch line. There's been some question in industry, how do we size the system based on these 8 laboratories, public laboratories on an 1.5-inch line? For those of you that are very familiar with the plumbing code, for the state of Oregon, we have an Oregon amendment to the 1.5-inch sizing or maximum drainage fixture unit loading on the horizontal 1.5-inch pipe, which is 2 fixture units. If you look in table 703.2, and a laboratory is considered 1 fixture unit for every laboratory. So with the new code amendment, it's allowing 8 laboratories on an 1.5-inch line, which by using table 7 or by using 703.2 would make it 8 fixture units, and we really can't look at 8 fixture units when we're only allowing a maximum of 2 on the 1.5-inch line. So the interp will kind of just clarify that anything from 2 laboratories up to 8 laboratories is going to be considered 2 drainage fixture units for the purposes of sizing the rest of the system. So when that 1.5-inch line connects to any other lateral or any other main, it's only adding 2 drainage fixture units maximum to the rest of the system. So I just kind of wanted to bring that out for the record, and then we'll come out with a formal interpretation later. Any questions? Okay, that's all I have for the board today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andy. In communications, we have none. Appeals, we have none. Unfinished business, we have none. Next item of agenda is new business. Again, Mr. Andy Bolt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, Andy Bolton, Policy Analyst for the division. We received an application for the journeyman plumber exam, from Eric Miller. He is requesting equivalency from the time he spent in the U.S. Navy as a utilitiesman from September 1995 to September 2019. He has included supporting documents in his application, including a transcript of Navy courses, his DV-240C, and a letter from his commander. Those documents should be included in your board packet. And we have Chief Skinner here to talk about any technical details, and Mr. Miller is on the line to answer any questions from the board regarding this application. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Is any of the board members, would they care to talk with Mr. Miller?
Craig Anderson, through the chair. The package of training, experience, and basically the scope of education has is pretty clear. I don't believe that I myself have any misunderstanding of the training that he's received. So I thought that it was a very detailed package, no question.
Okay, thank you. Would anybody else care to have something to say or question Mr. Miller?
Melissa Get, through the chair. I'd just like to say, he's on the call, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Just like to say
Yes, ma'am,
thank you for your service. It looks like you've done quite a bit at the time that you've been into the Navy. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And I looked at all of the education, and I know we require about 576 hours, and it looks like Mr. Miller's total hours of education was like 1,500 approximately. So I felt like he was very qualified to sit for the exam based on our rules and what all of this documentation showed. So I would not have any further questions.
Thank you, Melissa. Anyone else?
To the chair, I would agree. Thank you for your service, and I agree with the training and the skills that he has are, you know, applicable to this job. So,
Thank you, Matt. Anyone else?
This is Molly through the chair. I don't think I got the full packet. All I got was the application.
Oh,
So I didn't see
well,
everything. But
as Melissa referred to, he has about triple what we would require. So,
right.
my personal feeling is I'm pretty confident with this as well. I don't have any objection to it. This is just my comment. This isn't the first time that we've done this. We've made this exception once before, or this condition once before. So I believe this gentleman is more than qualified to do what we're asking him to do. So, you know, he's dependent on passing the state exam as well. But that's how I feel about it. So, would anybody care to talk to Mr. Miller, or would I'd like to just have him introduce himself, if he would, please, and say hi.
Well, good morning, all. Thank you for allowing me to be on your conference call today and listening and speaking to me and going through my record and giving me a chance to apply for my license. Kind of a weird thing with the whole COVID and all this, doing it over the phone. I'm used to talking to people face to face, especially as I did as an instructor. So, thank you. I'm glad that I was able to provide the documentation that you guys needed, and thank you for giving me a chance to move on as in the civilian side and continue doing the work that I love.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, if nobody else has anything that they would like to talk to him about, or questions, or any other situation, there is a motion needs to be made, and I'll go ahead and make that. I motion to adopt a finding that the candidate's experience meets Oregon's requirements, and therefore approve the candidate's application for journeyman plumber and allow him to sit for the journeyman plumber's exam. Motion's been made. Is there any discussion?
No.
Okay, so no more discussion. I'll call for a vote. Melissa, will you do the roll call, please?
Chair, Joe, or let me start over. Excuse me, Chair Argue. Joe Liebold.
Aye.
Molly Keller.
Aye.
Melissa Gitt.
Aye.
Corey Frazier.
Aye.
Craig Anderson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Matt Roselle.
aye.
Chair Travis Argue.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Miller. I hope you do well in the industry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your guys' time today, and thank you for allowing me to sit in on this, and just thank you.
All right, next up is review for committee recommendations with Mr. Andy Bolton again.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, Andy Bolton, Policy Analyst for the division. The committee this time around reviewed 3 continuing education applications, 1 for a course and 2 instructors, and recommends recommends approval of each. The recommendations are included in a matrix in your board packet.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Bolt?
No.
Well, hearing none, just to make this easy again, I'll make another motion. I motion to approve the committee recommendations for the approval of the courses and instructors. Any questions? Discussion? All right. Motion's been made. Let's vote. Those in favor say aye. Will you please do a roll call?
Yes, sir. Joe Liebold,
Aye.
Molly Keller,
Aye.
Melissa Gitt,
Aye.
Corey Frazier,
Aye.
Craig Anderson,
Aye.
Vice Chair Matt Roselle,
Aye.
Chair Travis Argue.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. There are no announcements. The next thing is adjournment. So we adjourn at 9:46 a.m. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.
Good
All right.
seeing everyone.
Yeah. All right.
Here.
All right.